Hey, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you, depending on when you're watching this on YouTube or other channels, or indeed listening to the audio podcast version via hypnosisweek.com. Yes, it's me again, Alex William Smith by birth, but better known to many of you as Jonathan Royle, celebrity hypnotist of magicalguru.com, and of course, ultimatehypnosiscourse.com. As you can see on screen, this short video review, and it is short and sweet because this is an easy book to review, is by a gentleman called Joseph Crown, and it is called Instruction of the Hypnodom, a master-slave lifestyle development training on erotic and authoritarian hypnosis. And as you can see, this is a pretty substantial book. Indeed, to be precise, I'm going to give you a bit of a look at the back there so you can see. I'm going to read you that blurb in a moment, but just let me tell you to begin with the technicals, which is that there are 685 pages in this book. And today, as I make this video, it is the 8th of October 2022. I mentioned that because obviously prices may go up or down in the future, but I can tell you that today, as I do this, the book retails for £18.45 United Kingdom sterling. That's less than £19 United Kingdom sterling, which is an absolute steal. I'm telling you that now, it's an absolute steal. And I'm going to check the .com site. It's $23.99, less than $24. You know, if nothing else, you can use this as a doorstop. It's that big. But seriously, joking aside, let me read you the back, because my short version of this review is whether you're interested in erotic hypnosis or not. And this book covers erotic hypnosis, consensual fantasy, interactive, erotic, sexual enhancement, alternative lifestyles, kinks, numerous different names you could give it, including areas of bondage, domination, sadomasochism, BDSM, stuff that people might think of in more normal lifestyles as kind of group sex. Then there's also master-slave things. There's so many things, but the correct terminology for the lifestyle kinks is all explained in this book. Let me read you the back, because this sums it up well. This book is about reimagining your life as a hypnodom. It's designed to be a training tool that encompasses knowledge, skills, and practical application for educating both the novice and advanced practitioners of hypnosis who are attracted to MS, that's master-slave, and power exchange. Only by actively engaging with this material can you begin to understand how all this fits together in the context that you might encourage, interrupt, or redirect with your influence. My background is grounded in ownership and possession, OMP for short, lifestyle, which is built from the culture of modern dominance and submission, D-S, and master-slave, M-S, relationships. And master is just a word until you find someone to give it definition. Through this art, you'll learn how we construct, reinforce, and break down elements of reality every time you express yourself through it. This book is designed to be a workbook and comparative apprenticeship that takes you through hypnotic inductions, behavioral conditioning, BDSM toys, and protocol. Learning relational hypnosis is an exercise in recognizing and reorganizing our thinking about our own life, and inevitably about our relationship to a seemingly infinite adaptive reality. It can be very disturbing for some to learn that everyday life interactions are not as random as they once believed. In this book, I demonstrate mind control skills and techniques by working them into the presentation of this work and directing the reader through techniques to create their own plans of action and style. This mixed method strategy brings together knowledge and application to challenge and engage within the cultural contact zone. While many simply seek to delight in the control of a butterfly, they rarely acknowledge the transformation it has gone through to achieve that form and lifestyle. The knowledge presented here can connect you further to the joy and intimacy of living well. If it doesn't, you're doing wrong. Real learning comes from the implementation of working knowledge in context. This book is a lifestyle training designed to change your life. Welcome, seeker. You found the Tao of the Crown. And you have. because this book, which is less than £20 United Kingdom sterling, less than $24 US, in short, recommended reading to anyone who's interested in any area of hypnosis, because the psychological ploys and principles examined in this book that are worth studying for any clinical hypnotherapist, any stage hypnotist, as well as people who want to get involved in BDSM or other areas of the erotic hypnosis, alternative lifestyle kinks. And this book will teach how to do it in an SSC way. That's safe, sane, and consensual, or even better, to use RAC, which is risk-aware consensual kink. Now, I'm happy and proud to say that not only have I studied this book, but I've studied other teachings of Joseph Crown, whose website will be above or below this video. And as a result, having studied with him, I have received my certification from Master Crown as a hypnotic dominant. So I've been certified by Master Crown himself as a hypnotic dominant. And, well, look, whatever you want to know, it's in this book. There's 3 books I recommend you buy, okay? And this is in order. Top book on this subject matter, without a doubt, best value for money as well, is Joseph Crown's Instruction of the Hypnodom by Joseph Crown. You can see that on screen now. The link to buy it's above or below this video. Get it. Even if you have no interest in that lifestyle, other than to learn about it for if you encounter hypnotherapy clients who are involved in it, or just because the psychological principles in here, many of them apply to every area of everyday life and can help you in terms of getting a better job or getting the better in negotiations and other areas of literally everyday life. It's worth reading whatever your background or interest is. The second book I would recommend is called, and just let me, my mouse has gone to sleep and I want to open another window. Let's get it there, because I want to give you the exact details. By a gentleman called Alexander, which is Alextsander, and it's called Beyond Games of Trance. Okay? Beyond Games of Trance, expanded and illustrated edition by Alexander, which his second name is Tsander, and the subtitle is Hypnotism, Hypnosis, Fetishism, must get a new set of teeth, and BDSM. That is the second book on these subject matters I would recommend. And the third book is, just let me get it up so that I can tell you. It's by a gentleman called Mark Wiseman, and I just need to get that into the window here. It's called Mind Play, A Guide to Erotic Hypnosis. That's $23.95, and it's a much smaller book than this, but anyway, in order, top number 1 book, Instruction of the Hypnodom, Joseph Crown. Book number 2, Beyond Games of Trance by Alexander. Book number 3, the Mind Play, A Guide to Erotic Hypnosis. Those 3 books, if you want to get involved in this lifestyle, this background, or specialising in that niche, which there is a niche for it, people will pay money to be dominated by a hypnotic dominant. Then between those 3 books, you'll learn everything you need to. This one's particularly important, more because it's the one that goes best into safe, sane, consensual, and of course, risk-aware consensual kink. So they're the books I recommend. This is without doubt the one to read first. And as I say, the stuff in here, it's the psychological principles that are the important thing. They can be used in the work arena. They can be used in negotiating business contracts. They can be used by a stage hypnotist to understand and manipulate in a positive intent their volunteers on stage. And many of them can be used by the hypnotherapist. There's also principles you'll find in here that borderline on mind control. They're discussed. You're told not to use them, but you'll understand how multiple personalities are created, so-called alters, dissociative identity disorders, and what the implications of that are in everyday life. It's a must-read book. That's it, short and sweet. But I do want to address one thing, because today, on the 8th of October 2022, on my wall, somebody's kind of implied that I might be Joseph Crown because they went looking at his Facebook profile and there were no pictures there and there's just an avatar, this avatar. Well, that's because Mr. Crown, Master Crown, likes to remain anonymous. But I do know who he is, and I can assure you he is not me. He is a member of my Elite Hypnosis Bootcamp. That's why he praises my work. It's not that it's me under a pseudonym. And in fact, just to clarify that, okay, I want you to check out this. On the 24th of September 2022, okay, 24th of September 2022, there was an event called Event 22 take place in Birmingham, England. Here, organised by Steve Miller, okay, the Hypnosis founder and clinical hypnotherapist, presenter of Sky TV's Fat Families. It took place in Birmingham, and I was the keynote speaker. So I was there live in Birmingham, England, on the 24th of September 2022. This is important to note because on the 24th of September 2022, Master Crown ran Noble Constellation Experience Virtual Workshop. In other words, he did a Zoom event on Zoom where he was teaching people live, and you could hear him. Now, if you check out that event and compare it to my Hypnosis Week interview, because I've interviewed Master Crown, and I'll put the link above or below this video, it's most definitely not me. He doesn't speak anything like me, and, well, he lives near New Orleans. That's why he's part of New Orleans Bondage and Leather Enthusiasts, i.e. Noble for short. And that took place, okay, just to clarify this, because some will say, well, there's different time zones. Well, that's true. Joseph's event ran from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. Universal Time, UTC -5, Central Daylight Time, okay? I'm in the UK, and I was in Birmingham, England for Event 22, and we're 6 hours ahead of New Orleans. In other words, 10 a.m. there, okay, in New Orleans was 4 p.m. here in the UK. And at 4 p.m, Event 22 was still taking place. And I was in a room full with like best part of 50 hypnotherapists and mind therapists, sat at the front of the room with Steve Miller from television's Fat Families, with Daniel McDermott, hypnotherapist, with Wayne Durana, and with James Holmes and Sue Peckham, plus all the delegates. I had witnesses galore. That event didn't end until after 5 o'clock p.m. United Kingdom time. And then a large amount of us went to the Premier Inn, Waterloo Street, Birmingham, and we were in the bar all the way through until it closed at around midnight United Kingdom time, which is very relevant because that's 2 hours after Joseph Crown's event ended in New Orleans. In other words, unless I've got a time machine, it's physically impossible for me to be Joseph Crown and to have run Joseph Crown's event where anyone who attended it would know whether it was him or not, because the fact is, the way Joseph sounds, it's exactly as per the video that's above or below this video, where I interview him on Hypnosis Week about subject matters that are expanded upon in massive depth in his wonderful book, Instruction of the Hypnodom, which, in a nutshell, many books I go into and pick apart what's wrong with it. All I can say with this is you'll learn hypnotic inductions, you'll learn convincers, you'll learn frameworks and examples of playing out scenes, as they get called in the lifestyle and not, but in other words, post-hypnotic commands, some may refer to them as. It's all in here. This is the Bible. There are a few things that are not expanded on, just very few, but I promise you, if you also get Alexander's book, Beyond Games of Trance, and the other book, Mind Play, that I mentioned by, I always forget his name, sorry, Mark Wiseman. Between those three books, you will have everything you ever need to know to be fully confident and competent in these arenas. If you're a hypnotherapist who just wants to understand clients who may come from this background, this is the only book you need. If you just want to understand the psychological principles used in the hypnotic dominant or the submissive lifestyles and states of mind arena and such, then this is the only book you need. But there are things in here you will learn that are adaptable and usable as a hypnotherapist, as a stage hypnotist, as a psychological talking therapist as well. And because of that, I say it should be a must-read book for anyone in any area or arena of hypnosis. And that's my review of The Instruction of the Hypnodom by Joseph Crown.